I've got a brew on the go. I'm settled in my comfy Spotlight magazine home office chair, and I have a proper legend on the phone for a chat. Mayor of Felixstowe, Mark Jepson. Hello, Mark. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I have a brew in my hand, and I'm in my little cubby hole.
Well, all of us at Spotlight admire what you do.
Thank you.
And, I've seen you go above and beyond over the last year, volunteering at the Grove Vaccination Centre, throwing freezing water over yourself.
Yeah, that was a good idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, I bet that was freezing, wasn't it?
Mm.
In December?
Yeah, good idea, that one.
Yeah. So that was for the St Elizabeth's Hospice Ice Bucket
That's
Challenge, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So personally, I've admired your work for the town and the community. And then I find out you worked with my dad.
Well, obviously I'm a lot younger than your dad, it goes without saying. But he does like dressing up, doesn't he?
He does indeed. Any opportunity, and he does it. He was police inspector, wasn't he? And
he was.
And what was your role?
Well, I retired as a chief inspector, so just
Chief
I got
inspector.
one above your dad. He was doing a wonderful job.
So yes, to your very important job as Mayor of Felixstowe, you've been a busy man during your term. What are your highlights?
Well, that's been an interesting one because a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, you've not had a very good year, have you?" And I've had a damn good year because I've done things that I would not necessarily have got involved in, like volunteering at the Grove, going out. We visited on Christmas Day and going to the Salvation Army. We actually delivered the parcels. It's been things like that I'd have never done. I'd have never got to have interviewed Russell Osborne, Mary Butcher, Dave Shanks, Chief Constable on the Visit Felixstowe Facebook page. And I've met some really inspiring, lovely people of Felixstowe, some hard-working shopkeepers. So I've actually had, I think, a really exciting year.
It's inspiring, isn't it? The resilience of businesses and individuals.
Absolutely.
On the subject of resilience and adapting, Rob Dunger from Felixstowe Radio and Spotlight have teamed up for a project about people adapting in challenging times. You quite rightly mentioned businesses and, of course, the charity groups, the support groups. So where adaptation is concerned, coming back to your good self, how have you had to adapt this year?
Well, obviously this year was early on. Before I became mayor, I knew that we were going to be in lockdown a lot of the time, or we'd have restrictions. So part of that has been, well, how can I adapt and do these interviews? And I say there's been a number, and the most important ones, a lot of them were the local business trying to help them, who were also adapting, who suddenly doing deliveries that they weren't doing the click and collect. So that for me was the thing. How do we keep the mayor's role visible in this difficult time? And that was great support from Claire and Stephen at Visit Felixstowe who helped me. But I'm a bit of a half glass full guy anyway, and I am looking forward to getting back to the wine boutique, filling it up again. And because it is I am a positive person, I can look at something and go, okay, well that isn't going to work. A bit like the mayoralship, I'm not going to get anything. So how do I make it as good as I can? Now, of course, not everybody can do that because of the circumstances they face. But that's for me is, what's the positive I can take out of that? I've had professional and personal issues that I've had to overcome, and so I don't sit here thinking, well, it's easy for me because it happens in different times. But I'm lucky I have a positive outlook. I think that does make a hell of a difference.
I've onto a slightly different subject here. So as a community magazine, Spotlight is always looking for ways that we can help support businesses and local groups. As an example, if you were offered a job with Spotlight magazine,
right?
Because I'd love to work with you, but just as a
you'd get bored after a while, trust me.
Would I?
Yeah, my wife does.
But if you did work for Spotlight, what would you do with it next? What project would you come up with that could be really supportive to businesses and local groups?
That's an interesting one. There's fantastic individuals at the newly tied Felixstowe School. They've changed it from the academy, and I've had meetings with some of them. And they've got some really good ideas, and it's even more inspiring. But they're there to inspire young people and the community, and it may be something that I might come to you actually and say, "Come on, Spotlight, how can you how can you help? And I think that's something that has been probably one of my strengths, is how do you get organisations to work together? How, you've got organisation A and organisation B, and I'm the one, sometimes the glue in the middle, says, well, why don't the three of us do something? And I enjoy that.
Well, you can be our glue any time, and if we can help be your glue.
I will remember that, don't you worry. Yeah.
Now, I have one more thing to ask you. I'm dying to know, when it's safe to do so, who would you like to hug first?
Well, of course, I have my wife. I can't really say my wife. I think I'd like to, who I do see, my mum. And I know she's desperate to be hugged by any of the three children. She needs it, and I think I'd like to give her a damn good hug.
No, Mark, thank you so much for everything you do for Felixstowe.
That's right.
And thank you for chatting with me today. It really has been a pleasure. You've made my tea break very enjoyable.
Well, you've made mine. I've had to keep drinking because my tea's a bit cold, but we're there. So we've ended the interview as the tea gets cool.
We're going to make another one now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's been lovely talking to you.
Thanks so much again. Lovely talking to you. Take care.